Right.
Talk about getting this win here.
It's a tough game for us, you know. A lot of players got in foul trouble, so it was real good to see how our young guys came in and gave us good minutes. So it was really a grinded out game, you know. I think we did a good job of getting it done today.
How do you think Major did there in that second half going in for Franz?
I think Major held his own for a little while. He started going a little crazy, you know, right before Blue took him out. But for the most part, he really did, you know, he really did run the offense, you know. Then they switched up the defense on us. I think it was a triangle too. So we never really went over that, so that kind of sped him up a little bit. But other than that, Major did a real good job today.
Have you played against that defense before, Chris?
I mean, I seen it like in high school before, but not in college. So
And they got out of it when France came back in.
yeah, when Franz came back in, they got it. I guess they felt like we couldn't score from the point guard position when he wasn't in the game. But you know, once he got back in, you know, things opened back up for everybody else.
How much would it mean to you to get to the guard to win the game tomorrow?
That's my hometown, man. I played in there a few times, but you know, it's always good to play in the Garden, you know. And I love to play in there. In college level, it's probably a whole different experience for me. So it'll be real good for me to get back home, you know, playing for my family and friends. I'll just be real thankful, you know, to get there.
How many times you play there in high school? Okay.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah, go ahead. It's like state tournaments and stuff. City tournaments.
All-Star games, Nike Super 6.
Is it difficult for you guys in these kind of environments to find some sort of motivation?
Usually have either a home crowd or an away crowd, and now there's so we try our best, you know, to build energy
From within, so you know, we before going into the game, you know, we was real focused on telling our bench, you know, be real involved. You know, we're gonna be the only people in here. We know it's the first game, so I think we did a good job. You know, we did a lot of talking
on the court, you know, as we
playing, so you know, that helped us out a lot. You know, while we was on defense.
Chris, do you feel like do you feel like you're all the way back now after sitting, or are you still?
Man, I'm having a good run right now, but you know, it's always room for improvement. So just trying to do whatever I can to get better.
Does the chemistry and the continuity resemble what you guys had 2 years ago?
It's there, you know. Last year, of course, you know, we had a bad season. But going into this year, we was just focusing on having fun, you know, and doing what we're capable of doing, you know. Not worry about anything else, what anybody from the media or anything like that has to say. So, you know, if that's what it looks like out there, then that's what it is. But we just going out there and playing harder again.
Chris, this is your second game with 20 points or more. Does this feel like your kind of offense? Do you feel like you're kind of taking control of Drexel offense right now?
Coach always runs a lot of plays for me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing what I've been doing since I got to Drexel, you know. Being that I'm a senior, it might come to me a little bit more, but, you know, it's not new to me, you know. I'm used to having plays ran for me.
You guys held them to 2 from 16 shooting from the outside. Talk about what it took to, you know, limit a team and actually have a decent kind of 3-point threat to just that kind of shooting.
Just listen to the game plan. You know, that was the biggest thing going into the game. You know, we got to keep them off the 3-point line. We know that they average about 12, 15 threes a game. So, you know, we know if we could take that away from them, it'll be real hard for them to beat us. You know, we did a good job doing that. I let one go down the stretch.
but other than that, we did pretty well.
We can talk about that, the foul situation there in the second half, and how you felt you guys kind of handled that.
I mean, it is what it is. You're going to have, you know, the way they call it, you're going to have a lot of games like that, to be honest with you. So I thought our freshmen did a pretty decent job in there. You know, when we needed them. Major lost his mind there for a little bit. I thought he was solid, pretty much. I mean, the way they call them fouls, I mean, what you going to do? I mean, those guys going to have to step up and play. I thought, you know, this is the most they played. We're going to need them to continually get better. And if they do, then we're solid, then we're okay. But what they call them fouls, I mean, it's, you know, it is what it is.
Rizzo, how pleased are you with Chris's game today?
No, he played good. I mean, you know, that's what he does. He scores the ball. And, I know I've been saying that to everybody. I mean, sometimes I want him to drive it a little bit more, but I think he like, you know, of course he likes to shoot 3-pointers, but I was telling him drive it, get to the basket, because I didn't think these guys could play us off the bounce. So we actually couldn't play them off the bounce either because they got 19 foul shots in the second half. But you know, I mean, that's what he does. He scores points. So, yeah, for sure. Now, this guy last year is asking me questions. You know, he was my manager last year, right? Yeah, right? Right? Now, he's asking me questions. I won't talk about him in front of everybody because this is the media.
Turn off the mic.
Right? Okay? All right? What, man?
You guys rebounded the ball tonight, only allowing them one offensive rebound, the importance of that.
Well, I mean, you know, we did two things. We kept him off the glass, and we kept him off the three-point line. I mean, that was one of the things we talked about. We didn't do a good job of keeping in the last game of rebounding, offensive rebound. One was because we had too many breakdowns, and then they drove it, and they got baskets in the Illinois State game. So tonight it was about keeping them guys in front, keeping them in front, make them take tough shots, rebound the ball, and that's what we did.
Bro, how much did advancing to the guard when you got there 7 or 8 years ago kind of captivate you guys for that season?
No, that season we were terrible. So we won 2 games. We played 2 games in the guard, and then after that, we actually played like 5 games in 7 days. And we just weren't the same after that. We actually ended up not having a great season. The next year, though.
Beat Syracuse,
Right, next year is when we came through, but we knew we had the guys that, you know, could play. All those guys are pretty much back. The only person we lost was Cannell. So I know when we went to playing those types of games, those guys knew, look, we played in these games like this before. So, you know, Frank was new that year. Chaz, only Chaz and Bosch were the only guys who really played a lot. There's a lot of new guys on that team, although we played well to get here and actually played well against UCLA and Duke. But the rest of the season, we sort of struggled a little bit.
What was the message to the guys after the game in the locker room about what's at stake tomorrow?
All we just said, you know, I'm not one of those guys that, you know, give crazy speeches, but everybody, we want to go to New York for Thanksgiving. Bottom line, you know what I mean? Hey, we want to go to New York, you better be ready. I think we got to play much better than we did tonight. But we knew it was at stake. We talked about it last week after the Illinois State game. Well, y'all want to go for Thanksgiving? Y'all want to come over my house? Or y'all want to be in New York City? So, you know, we got to be ready to play tomorrow.
Do you have any idea what happens if you don't win? I know you got game, you play games.
No, I think they're going to tell us tomorrow.
Monday, we'll play Monday and Tuesday, probably at, if everybody holds seeds, one of the higher seeds, so it would be either East Carolina
Okay.
or it would be Rhode Island, most likely.
Even more important.
Yeah, good bull crap. Tell me. Tell me no crap.
When was the last time, I was asking Chris about, when's the last time you saw a triangle of 2 defenses?
I don't know. But they're going to be in the league next year, so now I know he does that sometimes. So, and actually, Major was the one that got confused. We kept telling him, they didn't guard our big guy. We kept telling him, yo, come off, we're going to run the play. The big guy's wide open. And Major, because he kept missing him. But no, I haven't seen that. No, I haven't seen that actually since Monty Mack. People used to play boxing 1 against mine. So
That's going way back.
yeah. Pat Kennedy once in a while, he would go triangle too. He would do that. But Monty Mack, he got a plethora of boxing ones, believe me. So, but Pat used to go triangle 2 once in a while.
No shot attempts for Darte. What do you have to do to sort of get him some more looks?
Look, he got to stay on the court. He was fouling. He was hacking, Josh. Weren't you watching the game?
I was watching the game. He still played 18 minutes.
He was hacking, man. He was out there hacking. You know what I mean? So, we talked about duck-ins. He was out the game, though. Said, look, we got a couple of duck-ins now the way they started playing us. Just ducked the big guy in. But he was out of the game. He was fouled. So, I mean, that's the way, you know. He usually gets his points off of offensive rebounds most of the time anyway, but he wasn't in the game long enough. So, that was with him.
Sorry. Sir. No, you shot 36% from the field, and in the first half, you cranked it up to about 50% in the second half. Was there anything you saw differently?
Now, we drove it, especially the last 5 or 6 minutes of the half. We just started, guys, we didn't have to shoot jump shots against this team. Just drive the ball to the basket. All right, in the second half, we actually drove it because they started playing us a few ways, so we got some pull-ups. You know what I mean? So I thought the guys really played smart that way. Tabak came up, got some quick basket for us. And, but my thing was, we didn't have to settle for bomb threes. We could just drive the ball to the basket. I didn't think those guys could guard us that way.
Coach, what did you see from Damian tonight? It looked like he had a little trouble staying involved in the offense in the middle of the second half there, but then he came up with that huge 3 with 4.5 to go.
Damian never has any problems with the offense. Believe me. I actually thought today was his best game he's played so far because he didn't go crazy. You know what I mean? He took shots when we needed them in the flow of the offense. Because the first couple of games, I thought he was crazy. I thought he was losing his mind. I asked him, I put an APB out for him. I told him today we didn't find him yet, but he at least least know he's okay. He gave us a call, let us know he's all right. You know what I mean? He ain't totally here yet, but he ain't been here since the first 2 games. So, but no, I thought today he played the way we need him to play. He'll get baskets though. I'm not worried about that.
Coach, what do you think about Javon Allen's game today? He had 15 points on 15 minutes. Is there any way you can get him more minutes the next game? What do you think
How
about
about that? Hey, listen, you know, Tay's been playing. The last 2 games have been great. So, listen, he goes in and does what we need him to do. I was a little disappointed with him at the UCLA game because he's actually been playing like this in preseason. UCLA game, he got in the game, you look at the basket. I was like, my man, like, you know, you're not a defensive stopper. You score the ball, so score it. But, I mean, he can score the ball. He can. And, it'll be fine. I mean, tonight it just didn't work out that way. Last game, I think he played 30 minutes. Today, he only played 15. So it just didn't work out that way.
Thank you.